Okay, workout number 2 for month 2 here in the Grind Style Calisthenics workout program. Again, we're splitting this into 2 upper body days. In the previous video, we had push, pull, and squat, and that's your bread and butter muscle and strength builders. And today is almost more like an active recovery day for the flexion, extension, and lateral, or the E.L.F workout. Now, over the years of doing these, I've noticed that when it comes to really like blood, sweat, and tears effort kind of stuff, the movement chains are where that's at. But when it comes to the support chains, you're not going to typically work them in the same way or expect the muscles to behave to that level. And in many cases, it could be even detrimental to try to do so. So today I'm going to show you how I like to look at extension, lateral, and flexion chains as more of almost active recovery and just kind of a movement for the sake of getting everything glued together sort of thing. So we start off with tension phase, and that's another thing is this workout for this month is only 3 phases, which I'll explain why in a minute. But tension phase, we got our dead bug for our flexion chain. We're just on the floor, shoulders are up, forearms here, and press. Overcoming isometric. And I know a lot of people, they'll have like, oh, that's not a dead bug. You know, there's different variations, you know, diagonals and stuff, whatever you want to do. It's all just, as long as you got that going on, it's working. It's going to get the job done. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lighting up the abs. Then table bridge, and I'm squeezing the floor on this. So shoulders are back, hips are up, and my hamstrings squeezing, maybe a little closer together to make it extra fun. We always want to lift our chest and extend the spine before we lift up. Otherwise, you end up with this sort of thing. Okay, so extend, up, looking up into the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. And then lateral. Remember, lateral is both sides, and we have isometric side plank. So we're squeezing the floor between the arm and the feet, pushing my hips forward, shoulders are back, just getting everything turned on. Here, up, and pull. Squeezing. You can do this on your hand too. Some people feel better doing this. Whatever variation you prefer, okay? So for stability phase, we have reaching table bridge, T-planks, and the sideways bear crawl. Okay, so reaching table bridge, stability on the extension chain. So once again, we're here, and we reach, and we rotate. Feeling things shift, getting the back all engaged, glutes and hamstrings. It's a good way to wake up in the morning. Okay. And then what was, oh yes, T-plank. Love the T-plank. Now remember, we want a rotation with the shoulders with a lot of scapular motion. So this is almost more of a shoulder blade stabilization exercise than lateral chain engagement stabilization exercise. So here, protraction, and up, down. And I see this happen a lot, where people will be like, oh, okay, and they'll like try to reach way behind. Just run a straight line from one hand to the other, vertical. Feeling my lats light up to stabilize. And then we got the horizontal or the sideways bear crawl. So this is stabilization, flexion, hips, shoulders. Again, it's not isolation, integration. We want as much involved with this as possible. So we're here. I'm going to keep my knees bent just for variety. And we're back and forth. You can go with big steps. Crisscrossing is fun. And in the arms can be a fun variation as well. Good. Okay, so the reason for only 3 phases is because for the strength phase here, we're doing an isometric of each exercise on the straps for about 15 to 20 seconds. Or, if you really want to make it fun, it could be 5 to 10. Now, because it's an isometric, we're already going to burn out the muscles pretty good anyway. So there's not really a need for a hypertrophy phase afterwards. But if you want to err a little more on the strength or hypertrophy phase, you change how long the isometric is going for. So if you're like, I just want to make the muscle as strong as possible, shorten the duration for high intensity. If you're like, yeah, but I want more hypertrophy, lengthen it up. And you can even do both. You could do 1 or 2 sets, short duration, super high intensity, and then go with a longer one. But you're basically doing the same exercise. So we're going to use my straps and grind straps here. And we will have front plank. I got the clock there in front of me. And we have the pelvic tilt, because remember, that's what your abs do. They don't hold a plank. They just tilt your pelvis or tilt your pelvis. And when you are going outward, you adjust the resistance. So change accordingly. And went clock and up and holding. Make sure to keep breathing. Lats are engaged. Ideally, I'd have a clock on the floor that I can watch. And there's 20 seconds there. I always like to do this stretch afterwards, just to kind of stretch out the back a bit. Okay, oh, we'll get that one more time. We'll just do 1 chain at a time. I usually find that also for extension or for the E.L.F workouts, it just doesn't take a whole lot of work. It's fine to do it, but usually a couple sets, and that's pretty good. So we'll go 20 again. Glutes are also engaged too. That's very key. Glutes and abs work together to tilt the pelvis. And as always, if you feel it in your lower back, that means your abs are no longer contracting hard enough. So no longer hold it. There's no benefit to it. It's just discomfort for the sake of work. All right, lateral chain. Lateral chain. Let me move this over here, just out of the way. Yeah. And this is always fun. Typically, I'll do this on rings because it's a smidge more stable. But I made my bed and I lie in it with my grind straps today. So shoulders are back, chest is up, and out. That's more stable than last time. Although it doesn't look stable, does it? Pretty shaky. That right side. Here's the view from the back side, on the left side here. So everything's set. Tension, load. I never fall onto the handle as I'm reaching out. I place my weight on it and then pick up my feet. So for this one, I just can't see the clock. I recommend a timer on your phone. Gives you an audio feedback, but I'm just counting breaths. So that's kind of what I'm doing. One more. Shoulders back. Very good. Okay, now, for the extension chain, I'm gonna do something a little different. I had the reverse plank in the workout log. But lately I've been working on trying to get my glutes, specifically my right glute, to engage a heck of a lot more. Which has been a challenge. And I know I can do that better if I have my knees bent. So that's what I'm gonna do. And this is another example of don't do it the way it's listed out. Do it in the way that's just better for you. And that way you'll get more of what you want. So the objective here is to make sure my glutes are working with the rest of the extension chain. That's all I'm working on. You could be working on several other things, but you modify your workout based on the objectives and what's going to help you achieve those objectives the best, not according to a dogmatic formula. So, shoulders are packed. Ooh, hi hamstring. Yes, I know you want to talk. I know you want to work, but I want you talking to the glutes. Yes, I talk to my muscles. They're my friends. Doesn't make me crazy too much, right? There we go. Little crampage in the hamstring, turn it on. First time I did this exercise, my hamstrings were like, bang, cramp instantly. And at the time I was like, what the heck? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like kettlebell swinging all day long. And I'm always like doing Romanian deadlifts. How can my hamstrings be that weak? The thing is, my hamstrings weren't weak. This is just that intense. All right, another. Trying to get up, up, up. And of course, you can make any of these much harder with weights. You know, I could put a weight on my lap, that makes this harder. I could put a weight vest on for the stretch outs or the side planks and stuff. But my experience is because of leverage, you're not gonna need it. One more here just for good measure. So again, it's PTR though. I'm trying to get my glutes to engage more. So what I do is I'm not trying to engage them as I get up. I'm literally turning them on, then I press into my heels. So I ensure the glute is working before it needs to work. It's not quite as high, but I'll deal with it. And that'll be good right there. So there we are. E.L.F. workout number 2 for Grind Style Calisthenics, month number 2. Again, all the PDFs for the programs are down below in the description. You can check out links for NOSC, suspension straps as well as the ISO trainer that I used in the previous workout. If you have questions and stuff, let me know. Yeah, there's the workouts as I do them for month 2, and I'll see you again for month 3. Be fit, live free.